Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the most illustrious Pokemon podcast this side of any planet that you do live on. I am your host, the PokéMush, the Mush, who loves the Mons, and I am joined, as always, by the most delicious, the most delicate, and the most delectable men in Pokemon currently today. I am joined by Ed, the PokeStrongMan, and ToneZone TCG, gentlemen, fellow co-hosts, and legends of the arena. How are we?
Oh mate, I'm still on such a come down after an incredible LCS. Like, seeing you boys in person, what an experience. Meeting all the PokéPals, and also picking up a couple of banging cards on the way. Like, that is a high I'm going to ride for a while, and then suffer the crippling depression that comes after it. But at least we have Wolves soon.
We do have Wolves soon. Tone, how are we feeling?
Honestly, echo everything Ed just said. Like, it still feels surreal that it's been almost a week since I was with you boys, but it still feels like yesterday. Like, what a day. What an incredible day. It was so much fun. It was very fun getting carried around by you two. It was very enjoyable.
Both in the professional and the physical sense.
Yeah, Tone, put a fucking shift in for once.
Yeah,
man.
come on, mate. There's some weight to be pulled. Sort
I'm here
out.
to look pretty. That's what I've been told. And I'm failing.
It was honestly London Culture for me as my first major show, and meeting both of you in person finally, almost to the decade of episodes that we've managed to do. Meeting all of the PokéPals as well, and a big shout out to all of the lads that did come up with us, did some interviews with us, hung out, did some content. If you haven't seen it already, please do pause right now, go back to our channel, watch episode 8.5 because it's a special set for you set code sticklers. Yay, I got to use Ed's catchphrase. Please do go and view it, and then go and give it a like, a comment, and a share. Come back here and then listen to us recap it in a few moments. But before we recap all of the highs from LCS, I must reach to my small waist area and pull out the lows that is this, that will currently cover Ed's face now. Mega Victreebel was unveiled at the latest Pokemon Presents video.
Can we put the veil back on?
No.
Honestly.
It's bad enough that I have to pretend that it's happened, let alone that it actually happened. It was, honestly, the greatest tease, the greatest blue balling I have received since I was 14. It was an absolute... It was incredible how they managed to put out a screenshot, and it gave very big, as Ed put earlier while we were having chat, Silent Hill / Resi Evil kind of vibes with this melting purple ooze. And they had a really good touch with like little Sableyes hiding in the building that they were going through, and Noibats flying around, and like a Spinarak dropping in. Really great touches. And then they go up into a dark corridor, and the wall comes crumbling down, and out comes Robin Hood's coin purse, spilling Vimto. That is the best way I could describe that. Oh, ye of little faith, I have but 4 gold pieces in here. It was... As a massive poison type trainer, and if you don't know that about me, you will know that all poison types get love from me regardless, even if they are quite literally trubbish. But there is something I cannot get behind. Now, I've heard that it's going to have a great new in-game ability in Corrosion, meaning that it is going to be viable against all steel types. Fantastic. That is neither here nor bloody there right now. It is another utterly disappointing 151 Pokemon getting another utterly disappointing Mega. I love the entire Bellsprout even, Weeping Bell, Victreebel line. Fantastic. Made iconic, of course, by Erica and, of course, by James from Team Rocket. And they just kind of put it into the writer's room and the designer's room and just went, yeah, shit on that, and I'll have it back in 5 minutes. I don't really know how to truly feel. I feel like it will grow on me because of my love for the original Pokemon, but also at the same time, I'm hurt. As my dad regularly told me, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. Gentlemen, how do you feel about the situation?
Well, I think there's only one thing I can say about it. And unfortunately, Mush, Tone, it's a fucking shambles! Like, what on earth were they doing with this? They drop arguably one of the greatest teaser videos. Like the initial still got everybody like talking. We were there thinking like, oh, could it be like a new mega form? Is it like a new game mechanic? Is it related to this? And then we start the video, and atmospheric, cinematic. Absolutely loved it. Like Mush said, all of the nice like little Easter eggs of the Pokemon, like the little scatterbugs outside as well. Like so much going for it. And then you go up the stairs and you get this big soup-filled ball bag hovering around a corridor, and all of a sudden I'm meant to be like, ah, yes, this is dark and menacing and foreboding, but no, it's just a Vimto spewing monster that when you cut to the gameplay footage of the Pokemon, it's a space hopper that's got a bloody hole in it and it's farting as it's moving. Like it was again an opportunity that they have absolutely fumbled. Thankfully, it's not on one of my favourite Pokemon this time, but my suspicion is they saw the backlash that Dragonite's Mega got, and they were like, "Tell you what we'll do. Let's drop the ball even further and harder, so now that Dragonite looks world class." And by Jove, I think they've done it.
Honestly, everything Ed said again. Like the video, the build up to it, the still that they released, it kept everyone gripped. Like the amount of people that like logged in to watch this video was incredible. And I think even us three, we all spoke about it. We was all excited, and the video, half of the video was amazing. The scenery, the build up to it, it was such a good video. And then the wall comes crashing down, both literally and figuratively, and you just see this massive BDSM ball sack pop out of a wall, and it just all fear or all that illusion just instantly broke, and I just remember sitting there looking and going, oh, and it only got worse from there. For anyone that has watched it, you then run down the stairs, it jumps down the stairs, and then the Mega runs out, it goes back into a Victreebel, and it is just very like, oh, is that it? Even the video felt like it said, this is it, unlucky, you've wasted 5 minutes. And that's really how it felt. And I'm just, what were they thinking? Tying a string round its mouth for what reason? Like, we all grew up with the jokes of what Weeping Bell, Victreebel look like. And it's like, are they trying to take that away? I don't know. But they've made it even worse.
What they have managed to do is turn what looked like a fleshlight into somebody suffering from autoerotic asphyxiation, or whatever it is that it's called. It is. Do you know the best bit of that entire video is when it turns back to Victreebel? That was my favourite bit. And then scene.
Victreebel saw that pictures of Cheeky V were on 2 for 12 at its local Weatherspoons, went on a mad one, and then sobered up at the end and was like, ah, yeah, maybe I did overreact just a little bit, but...
That's it. It just, it was ridiculous.
It's, I'm sure...
And also, the build up to that as well, I think I messaged you too, is the Pokemon Center Asia, or the Pokemon Company Asia, released a full video description before the video was even released, which ended with a description of Mega Victreebel, and it's like, all illusion is done at this point. And even then, you had like that small iota of hope that something cool is going to come out, and it was ridiculous.
It's very reminiscent of the episode of Peep Show where Mark says to Dobby, "I've bought you a present. It's gold." Great. The illusion's dead. You might as well have just not bought it for me, because I already know what it is. It felt to me like they kind of, and Ed put it really well. Do you remember when we did Mega Dragonite and everyone thought it was shit? I've got an idea, and this stick with me. What if we did something shitter? Then it doesn't seem as shit. No, please, like, you cannot dig upwards, okay? You cannot dig upwards. You need to hold on to the ball, stop throwing it into the back of your own net. You're 6-0 down and it's 5 minutes into the game. All right? There is a lot about Legends ZA that currently I'm really looking forward to. The battle mechanics, the style, and the art all look great. Please stop shitting on my dreams, okay? You are not my year 9 football coach or my uncle, all right? Please stop hurting all the things that I love dearly. It really does utterly frustrate me. And as much as I can appreciate that everybody will have an opinion, and please do give us yours down in the comments below and let us know what you truly think about Robin Hood and his Vimto filled coin pouch that's bouncing around for 15 minutes before it runs out of juice. We are going to step away from the depressing and move clean into the uplifting recap of our wonderful, wonderful time we had at the London Card Show. We, as a three, went as a podcast alongside friends that also went. We got the VIP treatment, except Tone, who wouldn't fork out for the ticket.
Cheapskate.
Yeah, cheapskate over here.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
got
Why am
a
I
swag
paying
bag
for
with a fake
fucking-
slab and some sleeves. It was great. Everybody got to open Topps
How
football
quick
cards.
did you break
Which
the slab, Ed?
Hmm?
How quick did you break that slab that you?
I think it was like 11 seconds. It didn't
It
take
was.
long.
It was quicker than
The
that.
one-handed
It was
one was 11 seconds.
Yeah, 100 was 11 seconds. The initial break was.
I think it was just break this. Okay, done.
It was literally like opening a can of pop. Like it was literally just.
Dr.
gone.
Pepper has stronger feelings than that slab. It was embarrassingly weak. So, yeah, if you're going to grade, don't grade with whoever that was because a small gust of wind will probably get your card down to a 4. We also managed to do interviews with multiple friends of ours. We managed to have a really big walk around, meet loads of vendors, meet loads of creators that we have had back and forth with online. We did our own version of the little card of ours, and we managed to do some own little segments. It was really, really fun. Again, as I said earlier, if you haven't seen it, go away, go and watch it. Come back here and then listen to us talk about it. For me, personally, going to my first ever major card show and doing the big one, it was very, very overwhelming by about 11 o'clock. Once general admission had truly got in and everyone had filtered their way in, going up to the first floor or the main floor, I may as well have just rolled over and just let it happen because I honestly felt like life was just doing me in. It got to a point where all three of us were walking around and I think we're at Poké360's table. We were looking at the Japanese collection, all of us very big into our Japanese cards recently. And we're just having a general nitter-natter, and it felt like the entirety of Euston Station was going past me because my entire thing was like flick binder page, flick binder, flick binder. It was very, very rough. Although a great experience, the only thing I hated was that I was in close contact with everyone between me and Aberdeen. It felt like it really was very.
It was funny. There was one point where I remember Mush, you turned to me. It was about that 11 to 12 o'clock time, and we'd been wandering that top floor for about an hour at this point, and you just turned to me and went, "I need to get outside now." And I went, "Let's go. We just all three of us, the wife, everyone, we just trained straight outside. You had to force your way
It fully
out.
did become the PokéPals podcast / Thomas the Tank Engine as we just powered our way through the general public, skipping past 55% at speeds that can only be described as quite fast. It was, but it was such a wonderful time. Like all the creators that we managed to meet and speak to, all the photos that we managed to take with all of our friends that we don't normally get to hang out with because we do live distances apart. The fact that we managed to go and do several trips round each floor was really good, and all of us managed to come away with at least one or two big grails. I still, to this day, before I pass on my segment, will claim credit for Ed's Mega Gengar. Because without me forcing that guy to go for another walk round at 10 to 4 when he didn't want to, he wouldn't have it. So I'm claiming that as my own. You can send it to me later. But boys, how did you feel about going to London Card Show? Because for me it was absolutely, and ready, brace, phenomenal! Yay!
Oh man, it was unbelievable. Definitely the best card show I've ever been to. I've done like a few of the smaller ones, but this was just leagues above. I think the like assortment of cards on offer was like incredible. The fact that you and I must spent that first hour just flicking through binders of like mid-era vintage, and then like the latest mega set upstairs, and like it was really nice having binders to flick through, because I know like the Pokemon hobby's really sort of moved into towards a lot more of like a grading space recently, especially with the likes of like Ace having a UK presence, having the art match labels and doing something different. Um, it was nice to still have those binders and the high end singles to flick through. I have got a core memory for life completing my 151 master set with you boys around me, which was just unbelievable. First ever master set with some of my favourite people, with like a hobby I love. Just absolutely, it doesn't get better than that. Meeting all of our PokéPals as well, that was so good to see. It's nice to like, these are people we talk to day in and day out, like all day, every day. But being able to actually contextualize it and put like full faces to names, understand how people talk, how they act, like it just adds so much more to it. And it's the fact that all of us have been brought together by these little shiny bits of cardboard with like monsters and occasionally school children on, which I'll get into a bit more later. But yeah, I just love the fact that we've done all of this because of like a hobby that's turned into a passion, that's turned into this for us. And like, I was so like, the boys know, and I'm sure I've said it on the podcast before, but I have very severe anxiety. I'm on multiple like mental health like tablets, and I was so conscious of being in a show of this size and then also trying to record there. Like, we did all of our podcast stuff. I also did a video for my own YouTube channel, and in the lead up to the show, I think it was like the week of, I was messaging the boys like, I can't go to this, I can't do this, like I can't be filming there, I can't be doing any of this, like I'm gonna feel like such a helmet.
Which, allow me to quickly interject, then led up for messages from me and Mush saying, shut the fuck up. You're coming. You're going to do great. We will drag you there if we have to. Struggling, because especially me is much smaller, but we will drag you there. And yeah.
But yeah, it's just like as the day went on, the imposter syndrome faded. Like, started shooting more and more content, having some laughs, chatting with vendors, chatting with the public. Like, just oh,
The imposter syndrome is gone for the podcast.
you'd have to connect that Pokemon card back together.
Oh, I didn't use scissors. Damn, I lost my opportunity to rage
It's just
bait.
rage bait, guys. Don't worry. It's just rage
Got you
bait.
covered. Yeah, all in all though, it's one of the most fantastic experiences I've had. 5 hour round trip, totally worth it. Would do it again in a heartbeat. I wish it was this weekend again. Picked up some absolutely incredible things, including a cheeky little scam that fell my way. So here we have a beautiful V-Star Universe box. Hail in its majesty, the Japanese equivalent to Crown Zenith. But let's have a little look under the hood, shall we? That's right, what should be delicious, sumptuous packs is actually a Japanese coffee drink. And would you like to know what the real fucker here is? No straw, and I won't focus. Out of date, November 2023. They have shafted me with the full length and breadth of their arsehole character. But that was the only negative on a wonderful, wonderful day.
Is it too early to say V-Straw Universe?
For legal reasons, that was my joke first.
It was fully. I have absconded with Ed's comedy and masqueraded it as my own. But to be fair, Ed did message said vendor, got a full refund. They were very, very pleasant about it. And also,
Yeah.
and a big shout out to our friends at Koi Cards, who always do wonderful things for us here at the podcast, have hooked us up,
Yeah.
and are an unofficial sponsor of the podcast, if you will. And if you haven't, pause. Go and support them. Go and follow them on whatnot. Go and follow them on Instagram. Go and buy some cards from them. And then tell them that you did it because of us, so that we can have nice big praises. But they also managed to get hold of Ed a V-Star Universe box and actually sorted him out for the price that he paid for it at the card show, even though they sell it for slightly more. What absolute legends.
An unbelievable gesture.
Absolute legends.
No expectations of that. I even offered in the message, I was like, look, I've seen what it is on your website. This is what I paid. I'm more than happy to like meet you in the middle. And they insisted. They said like, no, we're going to do it. We want you to have this box for the price that you've paid. That was an experience that you were going to have that you can't or haven't been able to now. And it's little things like that as well, especially at a time where there's all this craziness in Pokemon, and we've still seen how it is. Like, we've seen how mental everybody in Japan went for the McDonald's Pikachu leaving food out on the streets when there's like such a cost of living crisis everywhere at the minute. Um, it was so nice and reassuring to have these like beautiful beacons of hope in the community when things can sometimes feel a bit shitty, but they constantly go above and beyond. From me and the podcast, Koi, just want to give you a massive shout out and a massive thank you again, not just for this, but for everything you've done for the podcast, the community in general.
Absolutely.
As we touched on in a previous episode with like the price dropping around Team Rocket, unbelievable, consistently above and beyond for everyone and everything. You are an absolute gem to this community, and I cannot thank you enough.
I was just waiting for Tone to kick off then. Be like, right, actually, LCS was rubbish.
No, LCS is always great. It's the third one I've been to now. And I've got to say, it was the best of the three I went to. The ones I went to before only had one floor. So if you think we were struggling to get through Mush, imagine what it was like before where it was all one floor. Because I will say it was calm compared to what I've been to before. But it did get busy. I'll start with any little negatives I have. The only ones I will say, again, as someone that does not collect slabs, I remember walking straight in, and after finding you guys, we went up to the top floor, and I just remember seeing slab table after slab table after slab table, and I was like, where are all the binders at? And it was a bit overwhelming for someone that doesn't really care about slabs. And I am only getting into the Japanese game quite recently for price reasons, for quality reasons. We're seeing a major difference, as everyone has been seeing much earlier than I have. Um, but yeah, again, massive shout out to Poke360. We already said about them before. They made the three of us feel really comfortable instantly, and the three of us, I think we all collected probably between us about 15 cards. We each picked up one of our growls together, which was we all got the Steelix from Mega Brave, so we all had to make sure we get that. And yeah, the good part was though that because they had the second floor, you went downstairs and the majority of it was all binders, and it was like binder heaven down there. And there was something for everyone. My wife, who doesn't give a rat's ass about Pokemon, had a Disney table for her. She even treated me to a Hercules card. It was such a great show, and there was absolutely. You always get scared, especially how the community has been recently, that there's going to be some negativity, and we all speak, especially about me, that don't show him near any vendors that are buying at 55%. But everyone was incredible. I was going around with Ed a lot, and Ed was haggling a few of them, and they were all so nice about it. Um, Big recommendation for anyone that's never been a card show: bring cash. They'll much rather a cash haggle than a card haggle. Um, and yeah, everyone. I've been to card shows. I've been to LCS before, where vendors have been absolute dicks, and it's safe to say I didn't deal with one person that was nasty about it. Even the ones that didn't want to go down on price, they were like, unfortunately, this is it, and they explained why. They were nice about it. The most positive vibes, and then we get to the best part of the day was the community, seeing the PokéPals and seeing you two, and finally getting to spend some time together. And it wasn't all just you're in a show and it's buzzing and you are going at 100 miles an hour. We had the time to. We had our little space outside that we kept going back to. We had time to just go outside and relax, rip packs together, go get food, eat together, relax together. There was a point where we was on the other side where the food was, and we was each taking it in turns to sit at the table and look after bags while others ran in and got stuff, and just such a positive, heartwarming vibe, and it really does. It does fill your heart with so much warmth, doesn't it? No, it's so much fun.
You
That
could
Ed
say,
quote is going to stay there forever. I need to get that clip and just bung it in there.
you could say it gives me a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling in my tum tum.
And honestly, like as you both have said, and we won't spend too much more time on it because you can go watch this episode and see what we're on about. I'm going to keep plugging it until it's plugged in, turned on, and burnt out and needs a new fuse. It really was honestly one of the best days I've had. To be honest, it was the best day I've had since being back in this community. I've done a couple of trade days and local shows, nothing major, all like one room or two rooms, not 2 floors of a major race course that has way more space than I could ever comprehend. But honestly, it was beautiful. Everybody that I dealt with, shout outs as well to Kabuto's Cards and to PokéLaner. Both of you guys were really, really great towards me and really nice and polite. And actively, Kabuto kept me talking for about 15 minutes at the start when I got there, when I genuinely thought I was going to pull my front 2 teeth out by just going the whole time. If I'd have shook any faster, I'd have phased through something like the Flash. So it was really nice that like they could genuinely see how you're feeling and how you're conversating,
Yeah.
and
There was one thing they were missing though, and shout out to Mush for pointing this out, and it's a great idea. So if LCS, if you're listening, Mush came up with a fantastic idea for outside promo material. Instead of using a big blow up doll of LCS, when you are at a horse track, why have you not got a Ponyta and a Rapidash outside? Why
just
not?
saying, I'm available
It's
for
great
media.
marketing.
I'm looking to quit my job and do Pokemon full time. Please, genuinely, help, help now. Give me a job. Give me a job. Give me the job. Sorry, I got a little distracted there.
I think
be
before
carried
we
away.
move on, just want to shout out a couple of like tips that I've picked up from like London Card Show in particular. I think VIP is definitely worth it just for that first peaceful hour of shopping. Like, yeah, you're not as likely to get like crazy deals in that time because the show is literally just opened. But if you want to be able to flip through binders, look through cabinets, see slabs and stuff, you're going to be able to do that a lot more hassle free than when it gets like busier, especially on that top floor. Like, I think between the three of us, we easily spent the majority of the time on the smaller TCG exclusive floor. But also, that's where I found I got like the best deals, managed to flick through binders and pick out some absolute bangers. Shout out to my little card of ours. But there was just so many like incredible stalls downstairs that you had a bit more space you could navigate around, and it was worth, as I say, having that first hour. And also, like Tone said, take cash, because when you take off like credit card or debit card fees, there's a lot more leeway when you're negotiating on price. And if something's like, I don't know, you get a little stack of cards and it comes to like £47, it is fine for you to say, would you take 40 cash? And then they will say yes or no. Like, a lot of people do build it up to be this big, like, almost confrontational thing. And at the end of the day, you're just having a conversation. Vendors are salespeople. Like, that's obviously what they're doing there. They would have haggled and bartered.
At the end of the day, they've come up with a price
Yeah.
based on recent solds. Then it's not a set RRP for a random card.
Yeah.
That's not what it is.
Exactly that.
So, and yeah, a lot of them are so willing to haggle with you and budge. And
I have to say, for me as well, without Ed, I wouldn't have got a single bargain because, and I have got it to hand in this stack, so I want to get it. So as I've said multiple times, I'm mastering the glory of Team Rocket, and I finally managed to pick up my favourite card from the set. I got the Crobat SIR. This is better than Mewtwo, just saying, all right? Suck it, everybody else. And I went to a table, and Ed stood behind me, and whether he knowingly meant to do it or not, but he gave me the confidence, and they wanted, I think, 42 for it. And I said, look, I've got 35 in cash right now. Is that acceptable? And I was like, happily, if it's not, I'll break another 20 or whatever. Thought I'd try my luck. And the dude was like, I'll check the comps, give me a second, looked down and went, I've seen one go for 37, absolutely take it. And just having the confidence of having somebody with me, knowing that I wouldn't basically make myself look like a bit of a dick, it was wonderful. And I essentially went with the idea that if something was £50, 45 was reasonable if you had cash. I always, the £5 leeway, fantastic. And there was at one point where I picked up the Baxcalibur line. So I got Frigibax, Arctobax, and Baxcalibur, and the Graphii, and it came to like £22. And I didn't even say anything. The woman just went, just give me 20 quid. You've got a note. I'm not going to make you break a tenner for a few pound coins. It really isn't. And I say this again as somebody that has more anxiety than he does freckles on his body, and I'm a very ginger man. It was nowhere near this build up of anxiety and stress that I had made it out to be in my brain. And I don't think any of us three, and any of our group that came with us, had any issue. A massive shout out to Ed for finally completing 151. Round of applause. That is a hell of an achievement. A big shout out to our friend Joe at JD Cards, because he managed to complete Journey Together within about 6 minutes of being in the show, it felt like. Genuinely, everyone had a wonderful time. It really was the most beautiful moments in the community that we've had. Now, no more wholesome, lovey-dovey, kissy-kissy, love, touchy stuff, because Pokemon have done something that we need to talk about. They have changed art style. They've gone comic book-esque, and they have brought out and announced brand new Mega Cards. I'm going to flash up one now. That's a Mega Gardevoir. Look at how nice that is. I'm going to flash up another one, and it's boom. That's a Mega Lucario. Everybody looks shocked and in awe at how lovely these cards are. And finally, because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that care more about this Pokemon than I ever could or will, but it actually is a really good card, and there you go, it's on record, I've said it. Finally, we have the Mega Charizard. All three of these cards, to me and to my co-host, I hope, are absolutely incredible. I got you there. You nearly thought I was going to say it, didn't you? Well, I'm not. I'm joking. They're phenomenal. Look at them. They are amazing. The art style that Pokemon have managed to come across into this generation of cards is just outstanding. Like, they have really gone above and beyond to completely change the way I feel about Mega cards. Going back to the X and Y era, when we had the original Mega Gardevoirs, they were great. And I love the English writing across the Japanese one and the Japanese writing across the English one. I really love these little nuances and touches that they've done with the Mega cards. But there's something about this new art style that we're going into that really does, chef's kiss, do it for me. I am very excited. I think that Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia, I really would love to try and maybe attack and master after I've completed Glory of Team Rocket. If somebody could just donate me the £400 to buy Mewtwo and Moltres, that'd be great. Otherwise, don't worry. I love them. Boys, how do you feel about them?
Oh, I'm absolutely stoked on them. I think they look incredible. I remember when we were chatting about the return to the Mega era on a previous podcast episode, and all of us said we just want to see something different instead of them constantly rehashing. And it is the same sort of thing in the sense of, yeah, it's the big megas with the Japanese on the English on the Japanese, but the style in which they've done it is absolutely incredible. Like Mush said, comic book-esque, really superhero, powerful, punchy, different art style to, I think, anything we've seen before. I am super excited to not get to pull any of these.
No, I totally agree. I think it's to the point I was going to make. We all literally said we want something different from this era. We want there to be a clear difference, and bringing out cards like this is that kick or that hit of endorphins we need, and it's so cool. There's such cool artworks, and even if you don't like Zard, even if you're bored of Zard cards, it's like, yeah, that is I wouldn't mind that sitting in my binder. Let's be honest. The Lucario again, absolute phenomenal card. Um, it 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 gets me excited, but we all know my luck, and I know for damn sure I ain't pulling anything but commons, or I might pull a half art Dragonite.
I'll flash that up on the screen here. There you go. You had a second of it. Moving on. No one cares. It really is, and I do back the sentiments from both of you. And as I said, they are absolutely outstanding. Like the style that we are moving into, I am 100% about, and it's nice to see a change that's not dramatic. It's subtle enough for me to look at it and go, damn. It's like the perfect mixture between VMAX and Mega.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how that idea has come into my head, but it's very reminiscent
It makes sense.
of the Blaziken VMAX with. I'm looking at it because it's in front of me right now. The one with May holding onto its leg when it's oversized,
Yeah.
and the Lucario Megas from back in the day. They kind of look like they've merged those two art styles, and for me, it works absolutely perfectly.
Works so well.
It really does upset me that I'm looking forward to a Charizard card.
Yeah.
I've tried really hard to avoid ever looking forward to a Charizard card. The only other one that I'd really love to own is the Paldean Fates. I really like that Zard. I think it's better than the Obsidian Flames one, and it's an argument we had this morning in the group chat. But genuinely, I have to say that
I missed the argument, and whoever sided with Obsidian Flames, I've got both. I know which one's better in person.
Is it because you've got
Paldean
both?
Fates Yes.
Great.
just had to flex out there.
Just that.
I will say though, the only thing that I'm not super keen on, and I think it's going to be a bit of a consistent trend that we'll see in this next generation of Pokemon, is that starting with Black Bolt and White Flare, we had a new rarity tier introduced in BWR.
Yeah.
Then in Brave and Symphonia, we had MUR cards, and then these new comic book styled ones are going to be Mega Attack cards.
Yeah.
So it's like we're constantly getting like art rares, special art rares, new tier that replaces what previously was like the big chase, which like it's not the end of the world, but it also just means that in terms of things like pull rates, prices that they're going to debut in the market at, like we already know that Charizard in English is going to debut
Stonks.
Easy grand, and
1,500 easy.
and I haven't got enough trainers to sell to get one of them. So
I unfortunately only own one nice pair of Adidas's, and I like wearing them. So sorry, everybody, I'll just have to pull it, which won't happen. So I just won't have it.
This is where it's like, because I remember when I first got into it, and it was still Sword and Shield was kicking around, and I remember when I first came back into the hobby, almost exactly 2 years ago. I remember thinking V cards were incredible. I was like, oh my god, these full art cards, wow. And then you get a few months in and everyone's like, it's just a V, bro. Ugh, just a V. And then when Scarlet and Violet came out, by Obsidian Flames, everyone was like, oh, an EX isn't a pull. That don't count as a pull. That's not a pull. And soon, art rares and full art cards is going to be the same. Oh, it's just an art rare. And that's going to suck.
yeah.
Because even now, to me, if I pull an art rare, I'm skipping and dancing. I'm like, yeah, I got a sick card here. And nowadays in this hobby, it's like, just an art
I would
rare? Is
I
that
would
it?
almost argue that
This set just had 156.
Yeah.
I would argue that we're there. I would argue and say that people are already at the stage where art rares
People are already saying
and
it. Yeah.
like some of the ultra rares and secret rares. Like I know there are a number of people that picked up Black Bolt and White Flare in Japanese pre-English because they were desperate to rip an SIR and then got Harlequin. I'm just saying, or you're unfortunate enough to get the rare Candy Gold card, and it's like
Harlequin was the first art rare I got out of my Black Bolt White Flare ETBs. I was fuming.
Whereas we look back at the Sword and Shield era, and you had some of the V cards, but the alternate arts, like the Regidrago, the Corviknight, the Drapion, the Skuntank, the Hooper, they're absolutely wondrous pieces of art, and yet people will just absolutely skip over them. The Zamazenta, which I saw about 30 times at LCS, but had to refrain from dropping £20 because I was desperately trying to get as much bang for my buck as I could. But trust me, if anyone is selling one at Wolves, we're going to have a little talk, and I'm going to buy it from you because I just think that card is great. It's it's tough, like you say, with everybody suddenly each time. Like when we were kids, hollows, you'd fight your nearest and dearest. You'd chin
Oh my
your
gosh.
grandmother in a toy master to get hold of a heavy pack of base set because
I
you
did.
several times. She didn't get up. Sorry, Granddad.
Really ruined Christmas dinner.
You know, like I remember when we got to the like Diamond and Pearl era and we got the EXs, but they were even more of a breakout of the like frame card. Like there's a Houndoom EX that I'm thinking of that I'm going to flash up here. Like look at that. Look at that. And then compare that to like a Ed's always the one that gets covered with a card depending on where I am on the screen. Sorry, Ed. It's
Try not to take it personally.
It's
yeah.
not. It's not personal. I hope you don't take it that way. But when you look at the EXs like that and the old style ones, and then you look at now at EXs, it's almost like they've shrunk the art even more. And I just think little things like leaving that EX style the whole way through would almost make people be like, that's more of a hit. Like there's a Gengar EX that I've just recently posted, the one that's got loads of like balloons and colours on it. People call it like the Skittles or the M&M Gengar.
The jelly bean.
Jelly bean Gengar, thank you. Like that's an amazing card. Not one that I'm personally
I'm not gonna lie.
like. Go on, Tone.
When you posted that story, I was like, oh, that Gengar is stunning. I might ask him how much it is. And I got to the next story and it was your first card sold. I was like, well, that dream's
I guess who it went to,
Yeah.
boys.
Deal bought it. Anyway, moving on. But it is like I think that we are very quick to move on and go, oh look, the new shiny toy, and forget about the old green Power Ranger that we've had since we were kids. Because somebody went, yeah, but now he's the white Power Ranger with a talking sword. It's great. No, I want to hear that. That's right. I remember the Green Ranger's Dragon Flute song because I'm cool. Okay, leave it out. I think that we're very quick to move on. We're very, very quick to move to the next thing. And like the gold cards that are currently in Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia will be very, very quickly dumped into a pile of, it's basically just bulk in it. It's expensive bulk. Unless you've got one graded and it's complete stonks to the moonlands. It's like Nike SB. It's pointless and
That's it.
nobody's
Everyone
worried
did
about
that with all S&V golds. No one cared for them whatever. Absolutely no care for it. Where I will still argue to this day, some of them, case in point, Obsidian Flames Gold Charizard is much better than the SAR. Gold Pikachu is much better than the full art or SAR in Surging. Some of the gold cards are stunning. But majority of people were just like, oh, it's just a
I had the gold gouging fire, and I actually rated it, even though it's just technically an EX full art. I thought it was great. We could sit here and talk about cards that they should bring back or cards that will come out many, many times. But going from cards to card shows, obviously we just recently attended LCS, and it gave us the most violent boot up the arse to get our asses in gear, ready ahead of the Wolverhampton Card Show, Saturday, August 30th and Sunday, August 31st. It is going to be held in the Manda Centre, hosted by the Poké Jarl. On Saturday, the 30th of August, you can come and see us. All three of us wonderful people here from the PokéPals podcast. We will be doing a live rendition of our podcast, live and direct from the Manda Centre, during the card show. Not only will we be doing that, but we'll be hosting interviews with all of the vendors and hopefully a number of you people. So if you are going to the card show and you want to get involved, come and have a little interview with us. We will also be hosting what I'm dubbing Tone's secret quiz that gets you something cool, because I can't think of a cool acronym. So basically, come up, approach us. If you see us walking around with a shiny box, it means you can win something if you get a question right. It's good stuff. And I spent ages writing the quiz, so please, all right, please. We've worked really hard on this. So as of Wolverhampton Card Show, you will get another special set 9.5 episode as we do all of our wonderful things for the Wolverhampton Card Show. And then the following week after the Wolverhampton Card Show, we will also release episode 10, our first double-digit episode live from the Wolverhampton Card Show, which will go live here on the YouTube later on. Boys, how are we feeling about going to the Wolverhampton Card Show? Is the giddiness of LCS carrying you there, or is your arsehole puckered?
Both. I'm gonna use the excitement to skip and frolic there, and then my anus will clench upon realization that we're actually going to have to do this live. I can be funny when it's in front of a camera and nobody else is around me, but when I'm in person, I will make a joke and then tap Mush's leg and be like, "Bro, was that funny? Was that good? Am I doing a good job? Cheers. Thank you.
Am I a good boy, Papa?
My good boy, Papa.
But yeah, I cannot wait. And like, LCS has given me so much motivation and like excitement that we can do these things. It's going to be amazing. Getting to hang out with you two boys again. Getting to buy some more cards, even though I said, I'm going to take it easy for a bit. It's going to be stunning. I cannot wait.
I'm buzzing. I cannot wait. And thanks to LCS, I've got no money. So I am fully focused on the podcast. That's all I'll be doing. I won't be spending that much on cards. No, I'm really excited. It's going to be really fun getting back out into the community. We had so much fun, and this is much more community driven. LCS was just us having a laugh, having some fun together as us three. This is about you guys. This is about speaking to you guys, getting involved in the community. We're going to have interviews ready. We're going to be speaking to vendors. We're going to be walking around the show, seeing what it's all like. And we've got some goodies planned. So we've got the quiz. We might have a giveaway. We might have some things to do for fun for you. And then we get to sit together and actually film one of these in person instead of just being with a headset on. So honestly, it's really exciting.
I was going to say, if you're local to Wolverhampton or aren't like too far away at all, and you're even just curious as to what it's all going to be like, it is a free show. We cannot stress that enough. What the Jarl is doing for the community is absolutely incredible.
It is top notch.
Putting on a free card show, free to enter. Like, the only thing you have to pay for is parking if you're driving in like we are, and obviously whatever you buy on the day. And there's a Greg's on site, so you know lunch is basically catered for.
To quote Ed from multiple episodes, when I see that sausage roll, it's on site.
Hey, the things I will do for a sausage, bean and cheese melt can't be uttered on a non-Patreon exclusive version of this podcast. But yeah,
what I will do for a machine-made caramel latte. You, not even your mum wants to hear me say those kind of words.
But yeah, I just think it's going to be a great day. Excited to hang out with you boys again. Excited to get out in the community and like really show the power that Pokemon has in bringing people together. Also looking at what other TCGs are available. Like if there's a bit of Dragon Ball, you know I'm going to have a little dabble. There's a bit of One Piece. Go on.
Stop it. I've been looking at the latest sets after you pulled the manga packs, and I'm obsessed with wanting to do a Broly Master Collection. But I actually counted how many cards there are, and it's in the hundreds, and I'm scared.
Oh, you
I'm
just
scared.
mean a little thing like this. Just a little
I can't believe I'm being
action.
flexed on. First by Tone with his Charizard, and now Ed with the entirety of the Dragon Ball universe in his back pocket.
And then if you want to get into the latest manga set, because
he's kept going.
well, how I've set this binder out is an absolute car crash. But look at these, black and white, lifted directly from the manga itself. As an owner of all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z in manga form, this excites my little weeb heart. But yeah,
Little Ed is standing to attention as we currently speak.
not that you would notice. Anyway, if there's One Piece, speaking of which, I might have a little perusal at that. Bit of Union Arena as well. That's popping off at the moment. Weiss Schwartz as well. There's so much to like browse to enjoy. There's going to be a TCG that you can get behind, and there is no better time to be a collector than now with how everything has a card game associated with it. So come on down, have a browse, chat to us, tell Mush how handsome he is, tell Tone that you thought he was a bit taller, and then challenge me to an arm wrestle. Job done. Let's go.
As we said earlier, and I will display, the imposter syndrome is fully gone. We are here. We are ready to bring you the very best and most exciting YouTube content that you can get from any Pokemon UK content creators. We've got loads of stuff planned. We've got the podcast planned. We've got loads of stuff coming in the future. We might even have stuff planned for 2026. Who knows? Shock horror. But we now have given you all the reminders and done all of the reminiscing. Now we obviously have to get down to the nitty gritty and talk a little bit about the shitty bitty bits that come into the Pokemon universe. Pokemon Worlds was last weekend, and it would appear that people didn't just go to battle their cards, they went to battle each other, as they could pick up the merch cards and all of the craziness that comes along with it, with people picking up thousands of copies of all of the promos and jackets and then bringing it back to the UK and selling it tenfold. I am not even shocked or surprised at this point. After the big fiasco that was Japan doing the McDonald's promo and 99 red cheeseburgers went by, it was just, it's, to quote Ed, it's a shambles. Like, what? Why are you doing this? Have I broken you with that one, Ed?
I was just hoping you'd break out into 99 red balloons, and I was so here for it.
I was tempted, but I am no Cyndi Lauper, and I only like the German version for some reason. It's just so much better. It's just, to be honest, and I'll just say it in the only way I can think, it's embarrassing at this point that we have to behave like animals
Ridiculous.
to get hold of merch and cards and promos. I'm 100% happy that if people are running businesses or whatever, for you to go over and collect some of these and bring it back and make yourself a bit of profit, but there is a markup line. Like, you don't walk into your friend's house, walk up to his sister, make out with her, and then chin her dad. Okay, there are lines that you just do not cross. And it really does feel like somebody's come around my house, taken a tenner out of my pocket, and then offered to pay for my dinner with it. It's a bit of a piss take at this point. I think that we've got to learn to behave ourselves. And if we're not going to behave ourselves, at least limit your bad behaviour. Bring back 20
Or
promos
just
and
have
sell
the
15.
decency
But just have some,
be honest
have some
about what you're doing.
decency.
Yeah.
Please. Boys, obviously, Ed, you know a little bit about this more than I do because you do a lot more research into it. So I'm going to take the hat and you crack on with that bad boy.
So, the thing that pisses me off more than anything else is when you try and act like the holy fucking savior of a situation. And it's like, guys, don't worry. I am going to Worlds and I'm going to pick up all of this exclusive merch for you guys, for the community. Oh, did you want it at retail? You silly fuck. Am I bollocks selling it for retail? No. It's gonna be marked up, but I'm doing that for you guys. It's like, one, don't gaslight me. Two, sort your god complex out because this ain't it. And three, go and enjoy Pokemon World for the actual event that it is. Like, we would love to go. Like, going over to like California, unbelievable place, being at a solely dedicated to Pokemon 3-day event that has the literal best players in the world there. Actually, as somebody that doesn't play the TCG, being able to sit, watch the experts do it, and hopefully try and pick it up is incredible. I was watching it live streams on YouTube, and I was just absolutely captivated by it. But don't go and start flogging the exclusive merch just because you can to pay for a free holiday to California for you and then lord it over us like you're doing us all a fucking favour. Like, give it a rest. Enjoy the event. Don't be a dick. But no, it just gets lost on some people. And, like, this is going to be difficult, but I just want to put this out as a plea to the community. Stop paying scalper prices, because then scalpers won't scalp. Like, yes, they are the arseholes, but if you are fueling the arseholes will keep arseholing. Please stop.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. Because it's an absolute piss take. Yeah. This was such. It is such an incredible event, and as Pokemon fans, whether we play the TCG or not, you can't help but be engrossed in the atmosphere, the energy that comes from it. We're seeing content creators from England go over there and film things, and it's such an interesting time. Yet, why do these events constantly, lately, have to be dampened by absolute knob munchers going over, grabbing stock, acting like they are the best people ever. I've got you guys, don't worry. And then when some of our friends in the community reach out and say, oh, you've got this, yeah, is it at retail? No, I've marked it up. You need to pay my flight there. Fuck off. These are the sort of people that charge you £4 for petrol to go to the post office. It's ridiculous. These people are scumbags, and they are fueled, like Ed said, by people that go, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, all right then. Have backbone, please, guys. Say, do you know what? No, I'm not that interested. Fuck ya. Because it's ridiculous. It's sickening that these people think that they're doing people a favour. You're not doing anyone a favour. You are taking the piss. Absolutely taking the piss.
And as well, we're not asking you to miss out on this stock, but if a scalper buys, say, 100 of the exclusive Pikachus in the like Letterman jacket, if they aren't able to sell those 100 Pikachus for the price that they want, that price comes down. We saw it with Journey Together. They were hoovering up ETBs left, right, and centre, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, I completed the master set on my first box, so this is all spare. I just want what I want, like what I paid for it back." Prices will come down. You don't have to miss out. You just have to wait a little bit. I know that's difficult because I get serious FOMO and I have to stop myself from buying out like booster boxes on release date or like pouncing at any opportunity that I see a pack, even if it's a set I do not care about, just to get that like Pokemon itch scratch. But you don't have to miss out. Just have a little bit of patience.
It very much becomes whatnot in real life. Now, I don't use it at all. I actually recently installed it yesterday so that I could watch Koi Cards' stream because I've said multiple times that I would like to jump in and hang out. I spent £7, got 3 cards, all ones that I really like. 2 of them are actually in my 5 most underrated cards from the S&B era set. So I'll take that as a big, big win. And the wonderful thing is that I got them for very much close to what they're worth. Like, one of them is worth £3 on eBay. I paid £2 for it. One of them was worth £5 on eBay. I paid £4 for it. Another one was worth £3 on eBay. I paid £2 for it. All right, I spent £8. Do you know what I mean? Like it was minimal, and even then, it was just £8 that I was happy to spend to support a friend, and they weren't pushing it down my throat. They weren't joking around. And at one point, somebody asked for a McDonald's pack, and they said, "Right, hang on, okay, they go for £20 on eBay. I'll do them for 21." Because then it covers the £1 fee that they get charged for a transaction or whatever. I don't know whatnot's ins and out.
I could be wrong. I think he did the opposite. I think he said the Pikachu goes for 21, but I know the pack's not worth that.
It's because each pack has a Pikachu and something else in. So he did a deal,
and he did a great deal, and I think someone else got one for like 18 because of another purchase they'd already made. And it's massive.
Yeah, and as he said in his stream, and he messaged me that this morning, we had a bit of back and forth, he's not on there to make a profit. His profit comes from the shop. His profit comes from his business. Whatnot is a way to engage with the community, get rid of surplus or doubles, and just generally have a bit of a laugh. It was very calm and yet chaotically funny in the chat. There's no reason that if a brand new set comes out, and I fully agree, right, FOMO is a thing. I'm completing a master set for a Japanese set that is nearly 5 sets old. Because they release everything like I wipe my arse. It's every 2 or 3 hours. It's outrageous. And yet I'm still I still open my Japanese binder and I flick through that master set and I'm still ever so grateful that I only have 6 cards left. And I think as an achievement, the day that I finish that, no matter when it will be, I'll have finally mastered something within the first, I think I'm 14, 15 months back into the hobby. And that for me is something that I've been really lucky to do. And I haven't paid anywhere near over for any of the Team Rocket products that I've got. Shout out to Bill's Pokemon.
Good.
When Glory of Team Rocket come out and people were shelling them for 140, 150, 160 a booster, and he gave me his for nearer to 100 than I'm going to let on because he definitely took a loss. But again, it was basically what he was paying for a box. And he did it purely out the kindness of his heart. It wasn't because he wanted to make a quick buck off me. It was because I'm a friend. I'm somebody in the community that he respects, and I was willing to pay the 130, 140 he was asking, and he went, no, 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 you can have it so that I just don't lose anything, which is absolutely beautiful. There is
Incredible.
a line between this card's worth 25, it's going to cost me 35 to get it for you. So do you mind charging £40 because then I make a fiver and I don't lose out? If you're a business, okay, cool. I understand profits. I understand money. That's fine. If it's, this card is worth £30. If you give me £30, I'll send it to you without charging you for postage if you can pay me right now. There are little things that go a really, and I'm going to swear, a really fucking long way just to do something nice, okay? It is so easy to just do something.
Point of announcing it now.
I feel like I had to because I really pronunciate the fucking there, okay? And I did it again just to throw it out there, right? There are tiny little bits of niceness massively outweigh one big bit of dickhead behaviour. If I could do tiny bit of niceness to everybody all day, all the time, that one time when I called somebody a twat really loudly at 4 in the morning on a high street when I was drunk when I was 20, we forget about that now because I've done nice little things. It pays fuck all to be polite and pleasant to everybody, and it pays so much more to have to justify your behaviour and your prices it must get exhausting. Oh, this box is £70 on eBay and you're selling it for 85 quid and you spend 3 hours justifying your behaviour. Mate, just for the 15 quid you might as well just sell it and not have to argue with somebody.
It's for this the World Championship thing. For me, one of my biggest bugbears are liars or people that put on a facade, and it's the fact that people were putting on this facade that they're doing this out of the kindness of their heart, helping the community. What they're doing is really good for people, that they're bringing this back to help to get the product you want, and then they go. So, and some of these people, by the way, for everyone that's like, oh yeah, but businesses need to make money. Some of these people aren't businesses; they're just community members like us. Okay, and again, you're gonna want to make a little bit of money, especially if you've hauled it all back or whatever. We get that. There might be a little bit of tax. Some of the markups we're seeing are like almost double the price, and it is greed. That's all it is.
I don't want to pay for your month's worth of Ubers because you want to sell a Pokemon card. Let us not give these scalpers, old scalpies at it again as if we're Dora the fucking Explorer. All right, no more of it. The one thing I want to touch on before we move into a really, really positive segment with the tonal shift, with the beautiful tone, is tag grading. Hello, Tag. It's me, the PokéMush. The Mush who wants to ask you why your customer service was so fucking shite and now you've destroyed a base set Charizard. Or base set 2. I'm going to let Ed do most of the talking here, but Tag, if you could just answer me with why you such a fucking dildo about this. You've done something wrong, just hands up. Like we said previously in episode 8, I fucked it. I'm really sorry. Let's see what we can do to rectify this. Again, a tiny bit of niceness goes a really long way. Ed.
So, for anyone that missed out, I'm going to get Mush to flash up the account of the poor community member that had this happen to them. Absolutely devastating. This community member had a base set 2 Charizard. Obviously, it doesn't get much more iconic than the base set Zard. And they knew it wasn't going to 10. They had no expectation that it was going to go in and be a perfect 10 because I believe it was their childhood copy. They took close-up images of every imperfection. There was a bit of peel at the very top of the card, so surfaces, edges, all issues. They knew that. They wanted to protect it, and they really liked how the tag slabs look. I personally love how tag slabs look. They are one of the most crystal clear ones. The label's really nice. It's something so different. But that's where, unfortunately, the compliments to tag have to stop in this segment. The card got imaged and screened, which, shout out to Tag actually, I take it back, they took images of the card upon reception, which then just categorically proves guilt, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
They took images front and back of the card so that you could say, yep, this is the card you sent in, this is what we received, this is the condition it's in. and then it goes through the grading process, gets a 7. I'd be stoked on that if that was my childhood card. However, said base set 2 Charizard, stunner that it is, gets mangled in the sealing process. The what would be the top left of the card as you look at the front of it has genuine deep scratch marks in it. Actually, not even a scratch, gouged. There are chunks taken out of this card where it's not just a scratch on the hollow, it is through the hollow, through the card stock, and you can actually see the back of like the white of the back of the card with how deep the damage is, and it's done in 3 separate places, all huge, and they knowingly sent the card out, didn't like have alleged any like correspondence with the person before they received their card, and they're just met with, oh, my Charizard's back. Why is half the fucking card missing? Because they have absolutely butchered it in the sealing process. Sent it out as if like, they're not going to notice, are they? Just a bloody fucking big gouge in it. But no, they sent it out. The user obviously got in touch and was like, hi guys, bit of a weird one. You've absolutely butchered my card and still somehow given it a 7, but that's by the by. What the fuck? And essentially, Tag initially denied any accountability. There were alleged rumours that they were threatening to deserialize the card, basically making it worthless, leaving the user with a damaged Charizard in an unauthenticated slab. Again, there's been a lot of backward and forward and mixed information on this, so again, this is all alleged on that point. But there was even talk at one point that there was a potential threat of like, we won't give you a refund or like any form of compensation unless an NDA is signed, which is absolutely abhorrent. I think that has been debunked, but just in case you've seen the rumours circulating around that, we just wanted to cover it on here. Again, all alleged, but if true, it is disgusting. There have been screenshots of the customer service like correspondence. Whether or not we can still access them if they've been taken down or not by now, we'll have to see in the edit. But yeah, just a lack of accountability. Like the fact that you took a screening image of the card upon arrival, showed the condition of it, and then mangled something that it's not just a base set 2 Charizard. This is their childhood one. So there's so much nostalgia, like it's so sentimental, there's that emotional attachment. This isn't someone that's just bought a card to grade to flip or gone, oh yeah, that would look nice in a slab. It's one that they've literally grown up with, and you've ruined it. There's no other word for it. You have ruined it and then denied accountability, sort of just like beat around the bush and gone, yeah, it's a shame. Like, we try to do our best, but sometimes mistakes happen. Please don't tell anyone, or we will deserialize your card and make it worthless. But oops, our bad. It's disgusting. Take accountability. Hold your hands up. This would have been an amazing opportunity to actually turn this into a bit of a good case study for your business and be like, we've learned from all the complaints that we had previously around our customer service. We've stepped it up. We are offering compensation. This is what we're going to do. Like we said with Ace, this is what we're going to do in the future to make sure these things never happen. Even explain where in the sealing process this happened, just so the user feels like they've been seen, heard, listened to, and like that this isn't going to happen to somebody else. Like that's going to put them off tag grading for life, rightfully so. Potentially put them off grading in general, and if that's like a big part of what the Pokemon hobby is becoming, and they're now going to miss out on because of this terrible experience they've had with your business, it's not good enough. Like you preached being this big disruptor, like all of these things, and you're just consistently missing the mark on your customer service. And that is what businesses are built around. Because you can forgive a dreadful service if like you make up for it, or if you like, we are trying our best. Let us like, how can we rectify this? What can we do to make sure this doesn't happen again? But no, they've gone, that's a bit of a you issue, that, isn't it? Tough shit. Anyway, yeah, your grading fee is like 30 quid if you want to just send that over. It's ridiculous. I am absolutely disgusted by what I've seen, heard, and read, all alleged. But yeah, something needs to change. This company needs to hold their hands up, take the slap on the wrist, and do the right thing for the poor community member that's had to go through this ordeal.
As again, we've had this conversation in previous episodes where we covered all of the Ace stuff that happened with Ali and his Misty Psyduck with Ace. Customer service, and I don't want this to come as a big shock to anybody, right? But customer service, it's really not hard. It's not a difficult thing, okay? It's not rocket science. It's not algebra. It's not lifting 2-ton weights when you're a weak, scrawny little bitch boy. Okay? It's really simple. You hold accountability, you apologise, you prepare to be able to deal with the same issue with different customers in the future, and you rectify it immediately, on time, on a schedule, in some kind of conversational way where the customer doesn't feel like you've just gone, ha ha, eat a dick. It's your problem, not mine. Because honestly, it gets to a point with the grading companies that at the moment, I don't feel confident grading. I actually have 2 or 3 cards that I'd love to send off. It would really, fuck it, mate. It would hurt me if I were to send them, and yet again, I either have damage or a poor scoring. To be honest, I could deal with a poor scoring if my card just didn't come back. Apparently, allegedly, took a dip in the swimming pool. It's not good enough. We here in the hobby, right? We work hard, we enjoy what little we get from it, and we spend our hard-earned money on these tiny little bits of joy. Quote me 15 minutes ago. A tiny little bit of niceness goes a really long fucking way. It's not hard to just go, do you know what? Unfortunately, during said process, this machine did something, or this grader did this, and it has caused severe damage to your card. These are the things that we can do to rectify it. These are the things that I can offer you as a company. These are the things that I can offer you going forward. We have taken said grader and we have taught them how to use the machine properly. We've given them more training, and we've given them a slap on the bottom and told them not to be an absolute tit. We've taken the machine outside and oiled it and told her that if it doesn't do what it's told, it's getting 7 minutes in heaven with a really fat, sweaty virgin. It's just these little things, right? These little things that go a really long way. I would hate for anyone to ever have any kind of interaction with any of us three at any point and walk away not feeling either satisfied, happy, or like that they laughed at all of Ed's jokes, because it's actually really hard not to laugh at Ed 90% of the time, whether he's being funny or just anxiously shaking in a corner. Both are equally comical, especially when you're 9'4" and you make the mountain from Game of Thrones look like Sonic the Hedgehog's little brother. It's these tiny little things that make up the biggest of differences, and I feel like I've said that loads, and it's because it's so true. I cannot state it more than that. All you have to do is be kind, take accountability, rectify situation, move on. They're 4 simple steps. That's it. But just turning around and just go jog on like you're Simon Pegg from Shaun of the Dead, it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how anybody could just go, no, it was you. It's just, you're a dafty. Sort it out. This is why nobody wants to grade with you, or this is why nobody wants to deal with you, or why this is why you've got a bad rep around. It's just poor. It's just absolutely devastating for yet another person in the community or company in the community to just basically turn out to not give a shit and just go, yeah, but you'll still give me all of this, wouldn't you? It's not good enough. Can't deal with it.
It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting, and it's another thing against grading. And yes, we all go on about me not grading. I love it raw, if you didn't know. But there are certain cards like Mush just highlighted. There are times I've looked at certain cards in my collection and I'm like, do you know what? It would be nice just to put that in a slab. Not expect it to get any higher grade. Case in point. For the last 2 years, the one card I've considered, do you know what I would like to get graded potentially? My Shining Gyarados. I will never send that card for grading because of the stories that have come out here. My childhood card that has been with me for over 20 years. And if I was to send that and something was to happen to it, I would be devastated. I would be heartbroken that I've had this card for years and years and years and seen it and loved it for this long. That card is older than all of my siblings, and for that to then come back with bits of it sliced away, a massive gash down the middle. If it got a 1, I'd understand. But if it got a 1 because of some absolute twonk of a employee at a company messed it up, and I rightfully so went back to them and said, "You've ruined this. What are you gonna do?" And I go to, let's say, Ace and get told, "It wasn't my fault, but we'll give you a bit of money." Or even worse, someone allegedly, for all of these, allegedly comes back to me and goes, "Well, we can give you a refund, but you have to sign an NDA for us to give it. And if you don't, then guess what? We're gonna take away the certification, and you're gonna have a worthless card in a worthless slab." It is infuriating. I said it last week, so I'm quoting myself here. These are people's prized possessions. They go to grading companies to get it slabbed up, to protect it, to look after it, and to give it longer longevity of life and love and appreciation. People are trusting you with some of their most prized possessions, and what you are doing is sickening. The least you can do is give a genuine sorry. The very least. You don't give people threats. Do not give people sorry. Do not give people these threats and these accusations like allegedly they did. Whereas it wasn't our fault. It was probably yours, especially with tag, because the photos show that you had it and you graded it at good condition. So why is my card now coming back in a slab with pieces torn off? It makes absolutely no sense, and there's nothing you can say to ever justify it. Bare minimum, I would want the price for a 10 graded card. Even if it didn't get a 10, even if it got a 7 or a 1, I'd want the price of a 10, because in my heart, that's what it means to me. When it is a base set 2 Charizard, a 7 is worth more in my heart than graded 10 anything else, if that's a card that I love and have had for when that card was released, I believe 99, 2000, so potentially 25-year-old card. And all you're getting is that, "Oh, if you just sign this NDA, we'll give you a refund on the cost of the slab." Piss off. It is sickening. And I just, grading companies, like we said, like we all pointed out last week, this should be, I know people saw the Ace story, not just from watching our pod, but the amount of people that released it, and I know that people have now seen the tag story. All grading companies, you need to open your eyes, look at these as learning experiences, because you don't want this heat on your company. There is no NDA, no defamation or anything that you can follow up on or chase against people doing these things, because at the end of the day, it is you that are doing this. It is, whether it's customer service, poor skills, none of this would be spoke about if cards were not getting damaged, misgraded, mislabeled, and sent back with poor customer service. If none of this was happening, we wouldn't be sitting here having this discussion. We'd be sitting here going, "Did you see Mush's Ace 10 Arbok? What a stunner." We'd be having conversations that are hyping up the slabs, that we should be hyping up. We should be sitting here singing slab praises, but there's far too many horror stories right now. I'm more scared of grading than I was of a fucking Mega Victreebel.
It's hard to really have words. I'm hurt, I think, by all of these crappy things. In the almighty words of Natalie Imbruglia, nothing's right, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. Hello everyone, Mush here, bringing you an important update about the tag situation that you've just watched us speak about on the podcast. Now, we normally film the podcast 2 to 3 days prior to releasing, and ironically, as we were talking about this situation, it overnight had been resolved, which is really good to hear. And from myself, Tone, and Ed, it's really good to see that these situations being rectified in the Pokemon community. So please forgive me if I don't look at the camera. I will be reading from my notes. So fortunately, while we were recording this week's podcast, we saw a resolution to this issue. TAG have reached out to the community member and accepted full liability for the issue, going into depth as to where the issue occurred in the grading process, how it happened, and how they are going to ensure that it doesn't happen again in the future. They have also assured that the team member involved with the quality assurance will no longer be on quality assurance, which for me assures some quality in their service. They have also offered the community member a fair market value for the card due to the circumstances being behind this error. The community member, by the way, has accepted this offer. As compensation, the community member is receiving $500 for their $337 card, and also a compensatory tag graded base set 2 Charizard with a grade 7 or better. So not only are they getting way above cash value, which I think is fantastic, especially considering the emotional and sentimental value that's connected to this card, but they are also receiving a tag graded base set 2 Charizard, which is what the community member has sent in. So it's really good to see Tag holding their hands up, accepting liability for the situation ahead, and genuinely doing above and beyond to rectify this situation. Hopefully, this does mark a change in their customer services, and we see a big improvement from Tag going forward, whether it's customer service, whether it's looking after cards, and anything like that in future. Thank you ever so much for listening. Back to the podcast we go as we have a tonal shift with ToneZone.
What's going on, guys? There will be no moan from me today. We're taking a little tonal shift. There is no anger. I think I just got my anger out of that segment, and thank you, Mush, for making me die of laughter. But no, we are gonna speak positively this week. And we spoke about it before, and we're going to speak about it again. Card show positivity. I highlighted it, and I just want to mention again, for anyone that has never been to a card show, I cannot recommend them enough. There is a lot of talk, a lot of chatter. We've mentioned enough of it on this podcast of negative things that happen in this community. And the one place where all of that negativity collapses is at a card show, and it's very well spoken about how we spoke about our mental health, and one thing that can really contribute to negative mental health can often be social media. Lads, how many times did you go on your phone on social media while we was at the card show?
Apart from to answer like, where are you? That was
That's
it.
it.
An occasional story post of a picture of us guys. That was it.
Yeah.
And that's it. You get such a breakaway from that being on your phone, which a lot of people like us in this hobby are doing. You're probably watching us on your phone right now. You get that breakaway. You get to see people in person. You get to enjoy experiences live and direct as they are happening. And it's very freeing. And I've been very vocal, especially to these boys, how negative I've been feeling in the community recently. All three of us have at one point discussed whether we want to remain in the hobby or not. Things have gotten us down. Again, we're going to keep this positive because there are times like LCS, these card shows, that make me so thankful I stuck to it. Because the people I met, anyone that come and said hello to us on the day, anyone that recognises us, whether it's from our personal content, from Ed's YouTube, from our YouTube, from the lives that we did, the reels we do, it just fills us with so much warmth. And I can't recommend enough, even if you are not on social media, even if you are just a collector, these events, as overwhelming as they can sometimes feel, to actually get out and see cards in person, see what you're buying, getting it, and you're not waiting for delivery, you have it there and then, but you're seeing fellow collectors. There's a couple of collectors that I don't even speak to anymore on social media because either they've left or we've drifted apart on social media because of how crazy of a space it is. But there are a couple of people that when I see them in person, it's like I've never stopped speaking to them. And you know who you are. There's a few of you out there. It's an incredible feeling. And we, as a podcast, were looking at card shows that are coming up. And last night I was putting them into the calendar. There is almost one every weekend, all over the country. It just takes a little bit of searching, but if you are interested, really search up a card show, and I can't recommend enough. Try one out. If you've got friends in the community, see which ones they're available for. I was very lucky enough to have these two beautiful men with me, and it was a phenomenal day. It was incredible, and it's such a fun experience, and I cannot recommend them enough. Especially Wolves Card Show on the 30th of August, Saturday. We will be there. Come say hello. But yeah, that's the first bit I want to start with. Is if you want that positive experience, I cannot recommend a card show enough. The next thing I want to shout out is since LCS and since me and the lads have been discussing this a bit, we have been inundated with positive messages from a lot of you, and I kind of just wanted to take this week to say thank you from the bottom of all three of our hearts. I say not just for myself, from all three of us. We speak about getting rid of this anxiety and this imposter syndrome because we are just three regular collectors with regular jobs, living regular lives, enjoying posting our content on social media, and we turn around and I used to do a lot of lives here and there, and then Mush started running an incredible series of lives, which evolved into us three making this podcast. We're just regular people, and we now have people messaging us saying, we can't wait to meet you. We're such big fans." That word there, fans, is still blowing our minds. Any of you that are listening, you're like, "I'm a fan of this podcast." We love you so much because we can't believe that that's something people can even consider of us. Like, it it is mind blowing, and we start talking to each other. And if you have ever sent us stuff like that, we've probably print screened it and sent it to each other and gone, "Guys, who do we think we are? Who are we?
Imposter syndrome
Us?"
back together. God. God.
I'm missing a piece.
Honestly,
Where's my pee? Oh, it's running down my leg. Oh,
honestly, it's crazy. No, go on. This is our segment. It's not just mine. I want you guys to.
All I
chime
was
in.
going to say was that genuinely to anybody out there that has ever sent any of the three of us, or even the podcast page itself, one of those messages, I cannot thank you enough, because without those kind little outreaches, and again, it's the little things, I don't have words to say how much traffic I would have fucking played in by now. Because this for us, it did all stem from just random live streams on Friday nights where I'd write out stupid quizzes and we play pack battles, to now being a full-blown podcast where we cover news, events, and more. And we honestly, I cannot stress enough how much effort we're putting into all of the stuff that's coming forward. We want to be at the forefront of all of the fun stuff in Pokemon. We want to bring back the light to your dark Raichu. It is.
Absolutely.
It's the nicest thing ever. Thank you so much. And if you listen to these silly little segments and think, "God, I tell you what, that bloke really know what to do," thank you, because we put a lot of effort and a lot of our heart and soul into this. It's a passion project that now magically people go out of their way to listen to every 2 weeks, and they want more from us. And those of you that want more, just hold on. 2026 isn't far away.
Yeah,
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I like getting these messages. Like, I sent the boys one earlier this morning that somebody reached out to me and said like how much they enjoyed my London card show vlog, and I sent it to the boys here, and I was just like, "Guys, I'm genuinely like crying right now. I can't believe that somebody has enjoyed the stuff that I put out when I was absolutely bricking it on the day, like anxiety overload, debating not going, debated not filming, like so much, to then go out of their, like, take time out of their day to message me and just say, I just wanted to let you know I really enjoyed what you did." like it was fantastic. I was so taken aback because in having support from people like you in the community, you turn in someone that's a massive, anxious, introverted person into somebody that feels that like they can actually do something and like they have a bit of like, I'm gonna say a chance. I don't mean that to sound as like dramatic as it is, but like we've all got a chance now to like make a difference to this community, make a difference to this hobby. We all said if we could even make one person enjoy Pokemon again, that's like our goal achieved. And since like we've started this podcast, we've had multiple friends, multiple people we don't even know reach out to us and be like, discovered your podcast, I've now started collecting, or I've been collecting for ages, but I've now started an Instagram account to like show off my collection, get involved with the community a lot more. And it's like we're just three blokes from different parts of the country chatting shit for 3 hours on a webcam, and yet we're having this impact on people. And I can't believe my luck. I met these boys by chance. We threw this idea together. Mush was like, I want to start a podcast. I was quite late to the whole idea because I was like a bit of an outsider coming into the group like a bit later on, and I was like, yeah, if you guys need like an extra person, I am available. I don't do much. And it's like I would never have dreamed of doing the things that I am now and being with like the most incredible bunch of friends I've ever had, talking about a hobby I love dearly, and getting to celebrate the fact that I'm an absolute nerd. And it be nice. Like there's no negative connotations. I can show a card that nobody else cares about, but then it's still hyped up. It's still like loved, celebrated. The content we put out on our own pages, that we put out on YouTube, that we do here, and then the nice experiences we have with you guys in person as well. I can't wait for card show season next year in particular, because this podcast is going places. Maybe it's north, maybe it's south, but
Maybe it's
what we
everywhere.
can guarantee is that if you see us in person, you will have no end of laughter, smiles, chat. You could show me any card in your collection, tell me why you love it, and I will listen to every single word that comes out of your mouth and I will celebrate it with you. And ultimately, you will have our never ending thanks for fueling us to have this platform, to do the things that we're doing, to experience the things that we're going to do, see the shows, meet the people we're going to, and keep giving back to the community at every step of the way. So from me, the boys, I've hijacked Tone's segment, but I just want to dive in and say we love you all so, so much.
With the only
Honestly,
exception being that if you show me a
we
clef key, I will chin you. We've got to bring it back down to earth a little bit.
If you show me a Trubbish, you'll be in it. But like,
But absolutely, like we do what we do for you guys, and there is this part of it where we do it for us. We it's one of them things we realise that we love just coming on here every other Thursday and just chatting absolute shite. But we do it knowing that we're topical. We try and get interesting things to speak about for you guys, and getting the feedback that we have been getting. This is just a chance for us to just literally say thank you. We love you guys. We really want you to come and get involved with us. Come and chat to us. We are not gonna be pushing anybody away. We're really excited about this community. We're really excited to see what people are collecting, and if there's any of you that's like, yeah, I really want to be interviewed, come to us, especially at Wolves. Come and say hello. Come get involved because we're really excited for it. The experiences that we have had so far and we are going to have are mega. And talking of mega, we will now end it and go over to the PokeStrongMan for his strongest analytics.
God damn.
Give me my Segway hat back.
Welcome back to the Strongest Analytics, the only show where hype gets the non-holo rare treatment and credit cards get sent directly to your discard pile. I'm your host, PokéStrongMan, and today we're diving into the 10 most expensive cards from Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia. also known as M1L and M1S for my set code sticklers, who whisper double-digit rarities like it's sweet and sultry ASMR. These sets have started a new era with a bang, leaving a lot of sneaker bros more overdrawn than a Charizard in literally every fucking set ever. So let's count it down from 10 to 1. Strap in, these prices are going to sting more than an overactive Beedrill during mating season. Taking the 10th spot.
Excuse me while I hit the mute button.
Mush is a victim of Beedrill. In the 10th spot, we have the Mega Kangaskhan EX SAR that currently goes for £28. The little one is all grown up and he wants £28 off you to pay for childcare. In the 9th spot, we have Lily's Determination Super Rare coming in at £42. It is not even the Simp tier SAR and it's already over £80. Proof that Lily could sell out a blank energy card. In 8th, we have the Mega Latias EX SAR at £43, so only narrowly beating out the Lily's Determination. It's cheaper than a night out and just as forgettable if you're not a Latias loyalist. In 7th, we have the Mega Venusaur EX SAR coming in at £52. The big leafy boy is still struggling to beat Charizard's Shadow, but at least the green cabbage broke the £50 mark. In 6th place, we have Mega Lucario EX SAR, everyone's favourite punching dog showing up mid-tier, strong, sleek, and still a cheaper date than Lily. In 5th place, we have Acerola's Mischief SAR at £72, because apparently a smug child with knitted blankets is worth over £70. Thanks, trainer collectors. Please be sure to submit your hard drives for inspection. In 4th place, we have the Mega Gardevoir EX SAR, coming in at £120. Elegant, radiant, and officially priced higher than most people's weekly grocery bill. In 3rd place, we have Lily's Determination SAR, coming in at a staggering £220. Ironically, this card is available in the Mega Brave expansion, and not in the Mega Symphonia. In 2nd place, we have the Mega Lucario EX MUR, currently hovering around the £290 mark. The big golden anime dog has gone full copyright safe Super Saiyan, and your wallet never stood a chance. How much money do you owe? It's over 9,000. And in top spot, we have the Mega Gardevoir EX MUR coming in at over £300. The pastel turned golden apocalypse itself, Mega Gardevoir floats gracefully into your binder and your bank account collapses into despair. That's right for my set code sticklers paying attention. That's 5 cards from Brave and 5 cards from Symphonia making up this top 10 list. Channeling my full data mining nerd powers, I've taken this a little step further and worked out the average value of a top 5 pull from each set. And yes, what you're all thinking is correct. These glasses are not just for show. Symphonia nets an average at £114.60 per top 5 pull, largely carried by the Gardevoir, MUR and SAR. Brave brings in a cool £123 per top 5 pull. Unsurprisingly, this is made up by Lucario fans and those suspicious sausages going out of their way to pick up Lily's Determination. Keep telling us it's for your master set. We definitely believe you. So, what do we take away from this new shiny era of mega cards? Well, for starters, both sets are basically neck and neck on top pull value. Symphonia has Gardevoir carrying it harder than a sweaty ranked ladder grind, while Brave is propped up by Lucario and the usual crowd of Lily loyalists who definitely just collect trainers and totally don't have a shrine set up in their bedrooms. The MUR tier is doing exactly what it was designed to do: inflate prices, fuel hype, and convince us that paying £300 for a bit of cardboard is somehow a sensible investment. Spoiler alert, it isn't, but we'll all keep doing it anyway. Mega Brave vs Symphonia is a pretty dead heat. If you're chasing trainers, lean towards Brave. If you're chasing Pokemon, lean towards Symphonia. Either way, you're likely to get stung. At the end of the day, Pokemon might be entering a new era, but the market's still the same. Trainers sell, hype drives, and our wallets cry harder than a kid pulling a non-holo rare on Christmas morning. That's it for this week's Strongest Analytics. Until next time, stay strong, keep your slabs straight, and remember, Pokemon eras may change, but your overdraft doesn't. Speaking of things that don't change, let's take a little look at the results of this little card of ours.
Thank you ever so much, Ed, for finally giving me back the ability to laugh while muted, because I think if we spent any time unmuted, both Tone and I would drown you out like water into the Titanic. It's always actually my favourite bit of the podcast is being able to sit and learn something while also at the same time having fun. Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. Shout out Arthur if you're that old. Now, we bring ourselves back to this little card of ours, or LCOO if you're cool and do acronyms with us and the boys on the podcast. Now, as we know, we did an 8.5 episode for LCS, and we did a minor version of this little card of ours. Now, while that is going to be one segment by itself, we will carry on from episode 8 into episode 9. But before we move on, I don't think we can touch on the fact that at LCS, we all went and did a £10 challenge. £10, go and find the best card that you could to put it up against my fellow co-host. Now, I made some error. I make English bad now because sad about things. I went round and I actually looked at the card that Ed submitted and looked at the second card that Ed also picked up that he was going to submit. And I didn't pick them up because I genuinely wanted to pick up something for my little card of ours that was also something I wanted to add into my collection. And for that, I have paid the penance. I am the penitent one. And in last place, with 13%, it is me, the PokéMush, the mush who loves the Braviary. I actually love this card. I think it's really nice. I am sad that I didn't win or even come second. I am now on the bounce of doing 6 in last place. I am the disappointment that my dad always said I was going to be. So don't worry, I've managed to go to all expectations. In second place, and this may shock you, or it may not, in second place with 29% of the vote, it is Tone with his Hisuian Samurott V, a card that I actually really want.
I did exactly what you did. I did what you did. I found a card that I really wanted for my collection, and there were some very cool vintage cards I saw, but I needed this, and I was like, I'm getting it. And I paid the price as well.
And I'm sure it's no shock, with an absolutely whomping smug smile and a knob that would be comparable to a mouse on roids, with 58% of the vote, it is Ed with his Neo Genesis Japanese Slowking with a double swirl.
Just look at that.
Yeah, you've had your moment. Right, in episode 8, we did another little card of ours, and it got a bit touchy, a bit fiery, if you will, in the heat of the moment. It was the heat of the moment, that song Dill play in the background, that Tone wanted to solidify his power with the delicious pre-release stamped Gyarados. I, again, did what I do best and liked a Pokemon that nobody could give an absolute shit about, and brought a card to the table where I brought my Genesect X and Y promo. And Ed, in his powerful glory, decided to take not one, not two, but all 3 of the most powerful legendary birds that Kanto has to offer. And you, the voters and viewers of this illustrious PokéPals podcast, voted as such. In 3rd place. And this may shock you who's last, because now for 7 little card of ours, with 23% of the vote, it is me, the Mush, and my Genesect promo. How I lay another thee down to rest. In 2nd place, with 30% of the vote, it is Tone and his stamped Gyarados, which means off of top spot you go, and upon the throne he shall sit, is Ed and his stained glass birds with 47% of the vote. Look at that.
Champ.
The double champ. You may have 2 of these. Absolute congratulations, Ed. Well done, you, sir. Do you have anything to say? You've got 3 seconds.
Thanks.
Lovely. Now, as is customary with LCOO, which I'm going to definitely make a thing. I'm going to do meth after. I am
I'm
meth.
gonna do meth.
Hi, I double up as the Method Man from Wu-Tang Clan. METHOD Man. Now, as is customary with LCOO, which I'm definitely going to make a thing. There you go, I can say words. It is now up to myself and Tone to bring 2 cards to the table to take down the legendary birds from Kanto. So, Ed, if you could hold up your winning card during this segment so we can show off who's taking on who. Now, usually I would jump in here and be like, ooh, Cantonar, it's me. But I'm not. So, Tone, for this week's little card of ours, who are you going with and why?
Okay, I had a bit of a dilemma last night. I was sat looking at that fucker and thinking, there's not much that can beat it. We've all discussed it. It's going to be hard. So I've gone really rogue. I was looking at my vintage. I was looking at Sword and Shield era. I was looking at SIRs. And I bought an SIR. And I bought, which is going to make this even tougher, I bought a trainer. I've bought a trainer card that I think it's quite safe to say was possibly the most sought, or one of the most sought out trainer cards of the S&V era. It is a stunner. It is a Johto throwback, specifically Heart Gold Soul Silver throwback, with Generation 1 gorgeousness. It has some of our favourite colour on this podcast, purple, in it. And I bought one of my favourite ever trainers, the Morty's Conviction SIR, which, let's be honest, is a Gengar card. Absolute incredible, stunning piece of artwork, awesome card, one of the last I needed for my Temporal Forces Master set. And I was flicking through and it just shone out at me, and it is a tough mountain to climb, but I wanted a challenge. So I bought a Morty Gengar trainer card that is so good it doesn't deserve the trainer label. It is a stunner. It is incredible, and this is what I bring.
You absolute fucker. I love that card so much.
It's a lot of words for a little amount of effort. I am tired. I'm tired of being in last place. I work tooth and nail to make this podcast the illustrious piece of media that it is. If I have to hear the words, and still, anymore, I'm going to lose it. Just lose it. Yes, I'm M&M, which stands for mush and mad. I am sick to the back teeth of being last place, all right? And I am now taking a leaf out of both of my opponent's books. Because it's funny that dear Tone doth travel all the way back to Johto, because I too have travelled back to the Jotonian era to pick up a Pokemon so powerful that it actually puts Pinsir in its place. Yes, that's enough peas from me.
Ooh, alliteration king.
May I just point out the old back?
Ooh.
Look at it. Yes, Edward, do you recognise one of
Ed,
these?
we've lost.
I am
Ed, we've lost.
sweating.
I want to see the light leave your goddamn eyes in a minute, boys. Now, I actually, all jokes aside, love this card and was very lucky to find one of these in my local card shop. They've got like a wall cabinet of just random singles, and this was actually tucked behind something else, and I could only tell what it was because of the other Pokemon that is depicted on the artwork. From Johto, everybody's favourite bug puncher, I have gone with the Neo Genesis Japanese Heracross Holo. Look at the shine on that. To quote me from last week, my ring light is doing bits. I would
Oh,
like at
God.
least. I would like at least to get a second place. I've done so many last place. I feel like Gimme Raikkonen. All
I
right,
think
I've had enough
between
now.
the three of us, and this is not me being too hype here, this is potentially our hardest week.
Yeah.
I've been hard all week.
yet.
So, as is customary with all LCOOs, if you want to vote for me, Tone, or Ed, you can go over to the PokéPals_podcast on Instagram and you can vote for your favourite card right now. Once you've done that, come back here to the podcast and have 5 or 10 minutes more plebby banter about how I'm definitely still going to become last.
Get me back on top, guys. Come on. We all know you love Gengar. We know you love Morty. And this was the most sought out trainer of the S&V era. Put me on top.
Or
But-
someone that actually deserves it and keep me where I am.
Or just, if you don't mind. I'm also here.
And
Tone
Mush
needs a
at
step
the
ladder and
time.
Ed needs a lie down, so I might as well go on top.
Mush needs double digit votes.
Yeah,
So.
if I could get a percentage that's good for a loaf of bread content, that'd be great. I think, genuinely, as Tone said, all jokes aside, it's going to be a tough week. Just one more quick flash. Thank you very much.
Thought
Lovely,
you'd
lovely,
never
lovely.
ask.
It is, I think, going to be one of the toughest weeks we've ever had here on the PokéPals podcast. And I'm actually, for once, genuinely hopeful that I might do well. I have been relatively nice about all the cards that I put in. I haven't tried to just be like, oh, here's all of the best cards I've ever owned ever. No more.
Yeah, Ed.
Yeah.
No more. Hang on a minute. You can't say yeah, Ed, when you're coming in here with stabbed Gyarados, all right? Quiet your little tongue, young boy.
That's alright, I guess.
I'm just waiting for Tone to pull out his Shining Gyarados and it'd be game over for all of us.
I'm just waiting for Tone to pull out. It's been a really long
That's
week.
going to be a special.
With all the things that we've got in the pipeline and all the stuff that we're going to be doing in the future, I think, just as an aside, these little games that we like to play every week and every time we do the podcast really bring a little bit of community engagement, and that's truly what we're here for. And I'm going to end the podcast by just, what's that? Did anyone see it? Oh, it goes again. We here at the PokéPals podcast are very excited to announce that very soon, not now, but very soon, we will be doing our very first giveaway. It will go live on our Instagram at PokéPals_podcast, where you will need to do lots of random little things like follow, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and all of that other YouTube stick stuff that we want, with your chance to win one of these. It is something that we own, that we want to give back to you guys, because as we've said in previous segments, we couldn't be more grateful for all the wonderful stuff that you guys have done for us. Without you, there's no us. And without us, there's still you. We honestly never thought that we'd ever get 10 views, 20 views. We just wanted to do this because it's a passion project to us. And truly, having messages saying that, people have come back into the hobby, or people are starting Instagram pages, or people really enjoy what we do, it genuinely does mean the absolute world. I cannot state it any better than Ed or Tone have already said it during this podcast, because although I am linguistic, I am not a smart man. I'm just a happy-go-lucky little bunny that likes to say nice things. We couldn't be more grateful. We honestly can't. I cannot state it any other way. If you are going to be at the Manda Centre on Saturday, the 30th of August, please do come and see us. Come and join in. We've got a quiz going. We're going to be doing interviews with all of the vendors and you guys in the public area. And we're going to be hosting the PokéPals podcast live. And also, we're definitely going to be buying some cards. So if you're a vendor, please make sure that you remember that we are, super famous and cool and stuff. Hashtag not really. Honestly, it's something that I'm really looking forward to, and with 2026 right around the corner, because it comes across faster than a Dodrio running. Try say that quickly. There's loads that we've got planned. From myself, from Ed, and from Tone, you guys are the best. We love you so very much. I've probably rambled and said we're grateful, but I just want to let you know that we're grateful. From episode 9, and while we clench to do episode 10 live and in living colour, thank you ever so much for joining us here on the PokéPals podcast. Have yourselves a whopping good night.
And as Mush said, blah, 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 that's all, folks.
The light is on, but I have gone.